Well, that was a little weird, wasn't it? Sorry about the wait, folks. Yeah, Restream is not StreamYards, so little bit of oddness here, but we're getting it. We're getting the hang of it. And yeah, let's get a little background music in. What's going on? It's Tuesday. It's a little after 9 o'clock, but I'm your host, Extra Zero, and I'm bringing you 0 Hour, your place to get Transformers news and get some discussions all in 1 hour or less. And yeah, I'm excited to come here tonight because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Some good, some bad, but that's how it goes in life. I'm sure a lot of folks have heard about the ongoings with Peter Cullen, and we'll get into that. We're going to be talking a lot about TFCon. We're going to be doing some toy news, some third-party news. We're going to do an update on that awesome Transformers 40th anniversary trading card set. A lot of stuff to get into. First and foremost, if you're new here, thank you very much. Appreciate everybody who's been checking out the videos. I will be getting out a couple new ones this week. I have an episode planned for a series I'm starting called Extrospectives. They're not going to be toy reviews. They're going to be more overviews, talking about toys that I personally love, why they're special to me, why they are standouts in my collection. And I'm really looking forward to editing that and getting it together. I'm also going to be doing a, not a vlog, but more of a look at my very first Transformers review when I wanted to be a reviewer all the way back in 2007, 17 years ago. So again, if you haven't already, smash that like button because it really helps me out in the algorithm. If you're not already subscribed, hopefully today is the day I earn your subscription. And if you are hitting that subscribe button, make sure to ring that notification bell because, as always, I mentioned I haven't finalized an upload schedule yet. We're going to have 0 hours Tuesdays at 9, and hopefully this is the last of the Restream hurdles. But, the plan is to have a video or two peppered in throughout the week. And also, if you're watching us here on YouTube, pop into that live chat over there. We've already got a couple of people. We've got Sandro Franco hanging out. We've got Princeton Phalanx hanging out. So don't be shy because I will be highlighting your comments throughout the course of the show, making you part of the conversation, just like I did way back on Figure Action. So, yeah, we got Princeton coming in saying nice logo. Thank you so much. I also got a little setup with OBS. If you're liking this, let me know. I've been having fun playing around with it. I got to fix the bounding box a little bit. But, trying to spruce things up a bit, trying to up the presentation a little bit wherever I can. So, go ahead and I want to shout out something important really quick before I get into my figure of the week and how I'm doing. So a lot of you in the U.S. probably are aware by now that we had a really bad natural disaster. We had Hurricane Helene hit the Southeast. I've got a lot of friends, some family that have, fortunately, my family that's in North Carolina, he missed it. So he's in Raleigh, he's safe. But, have a lot of friends that have been in harm's way. And thankfully, all of my friends have managed to stay safe so far. We've also got Hurricane Milton coming through, and I've got friends in Florida. And, I'm a little bit concerned and hoping that they stay safe. It seems like people are taking all the precautions and making all the moves that they need to. But, on the topic of people in the community, some of my friends that are YouTubers are doing their best to raise awareness. And I'm going to go ahead and shout them out really quick. So Kato, you know him from Kato's Kollection. He is doing a lot to raise awareness. Now he's got a video coming up on It's News about the Hurricane Helene toy drive. Not only is he going to be talking about it in depth and what people can do, but also there's the Great Smoky Mountain Toy Drive. Now, if you're interested in helping anybody out, because the one thing that I don't think a lot of people are thinking about in this situation is just the amount of kids that are going to be impacted. I mean, what's going on is awful. People need supplies. People need water. People need clothes. And I know that there's a lot of people that are taking and soliciting donations all around. But I think a lot of people forget that, the kids that are involved and impacted in this could use a distraction. So Kato's doing a lot to raise awareness of the Great Smoky Mountain Toy Drive. You got to remember, it's got to, put yourself in the mindset of some of these kids. They've lost everything they have, and they could just use a distraction. What they're seeing their parents, their family, their friends go through. It's tough. And if you can do anything, please consider donating. And if you're not in a space, I know the economy is rough right now. If you're not in a space, just spread awareness, whether it's this effort that Kato's doing. I've got other friends making videos. Enewtabie, he's going to be talking with Kato on It's News. My good buddy RodimusPrimal, he put out a great video talking about how you can help, different ways that you can help. And Firetox, mostly known for 3D printing, he did a short bringing up some awareness on all this. So, if you're in a position to help, please consider helping, not just with the toy drive, but anything. And again, if you're not in a financial position, maybe just consider, spreading awareness, letting people know that these efforts exist, letting people know that, that these drives are going on and that these people are in need. Because that I think just kind of goes a long way. The news really isn't covering too much of this stuff with the hurricane. At least, I'm up in Maryland. I don't see much of it. And it's bad. I've seen firsthand footage of what's going on and how people are being impacted. And it's bad all around. So again, if you can't donate, if you're not in a space to give, just share the videos, share the info, make sure your friends and family are in the loop, and spread the word, because it's a really good cause and these people really need help. Now let's get into how I'm doing. It's been a week for me. It's been a fast week, no training, but it's been busy at work. Been playing a lot of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and really enjoying that game. I'm looking forward to talking about it next time I'm on Gronk Squad. And looking forward to playing some spooky games. I got Silent Hill 2 earlier, so I'm looking forward to replaying. Well, I guess it's a remake. It's not really replaying it, but I'm looking forward to re-experiencing that. If you're playing any cool games, let me know. I'm curious. Because again, as good as those Transformers games are, there's a lot out there, and there's still good games coming out. So I've got the link in my link tree if you're interested in hearing me talk gaming. Got a lot going on with Gronk Squad, and I've also been helping out with some of the meme edits. It's been one of the things that's been keeping me from getting my retrospective done, but I have a lot of fun working with those guys and putting the memes in the videos. I'd also appreciate it if you check those out while you're at it. And let's get into some fun stuff, some fun discussions, lighten the mood a little bit. We've got my figure of the week, and so this is the OG. This is the original MP. That's right. This is MP01. And, it's kind of crazy thinking about this. And this is the figure that really made me want to do the retrospective, because when I got this figure, it was 2004. And what's nuts to think about is that this figure is as old as the G1 Optimus Prime is when I picked this guy up. G1 Prime was 20 years old. Now this guy is 20 years old. And this is my original one. I picked it up from Walmart back in 2004. I can remember super vividly finding this guy on the shelf. He came in a really cool display, not an open display box, but a windowed box. And let me see if I can pull up a picture of that, because it was really cool how they did it. And, when I was putting together my notes, I should have had this ready to go. But, they were really going hard on celebrating and playing up the importance of the 20th anniversary of Transformers. And let me go ahead. I found an image of this. So, God, this image is old too. You can tell. You'll see in just a second. So, here we got MP01 in his box, and actually that's not the best picture. Let me find a better picture here real quick. That's somebody having opened up the box, but you got a really good sense of scale for this guy. And here we go. I'm going to open it in a new tab. Let's get that picture open. Here we go. It made me download the picture, but whatever. It's gonna be worth showing off. We can zoom in a little bit too. So I remember when I found this guy, just how impressive this looked. They had, as you can see here, down here in foil, 20th anniversary Transformers, 1984 to 2004. This guy just stood out on the shelf like you wouldn't believe. He had his Matrix behind him. You could really see the chrome detail. You could see the die cast. You could see the Energon axe. It came with the Megatron pistol. It was just such a cool display piece in the box. In fact, a good buddy of mine still has his in the box that he picked up in 2004. He just never opened it because he liked how it looked in the box so much. But, mine, as you can see here, I did get the third-party add-on smokestacks. I still have the original. But, going back to that picture real quick, you can see, I'm going to cover this in extrospective. They gave him this was the thing Hasbro was doing at the time. They were nerfing the smokestacks. They didn't want anybody poking their eye out, I think, back then, I think this guy originally retailed for 60 or 70 bucks. And I mean, he's a big boy. Just for comparison, if you've never seen or handled MPO1, there he is next to your Siege Optimus. So this guy doesn't scale with much of anything. I do have the original Masterpiece Megatron, and they kind of look okay together. I don't want to say they look good together because that Megatron doesn't look very good. But, this figure had presence. It did a lot for its time. I mean, the fact that we got articulated fingers. And again, I don't want to bury the lead because I want to put together a video honoring this guy on Extrospective. All the gimmicks he had the moving faceplate. For the first time, we got an accurate matrix of leadership. And I got to get batteries in this guy because he actually had a matrix that lit up. You can take this matrix out. It'll actually open. And let me see if I have a spudger handy because I can show you all. And getting this matrix out was always a pain in the butt. So I'm not going to do it on camera because I feel like it's going to fling out. But the matrix could actually open. He had a wrist communicator. He had this is probably one of my favorite gimmicks here. I don't know how well you can see it on camera. You push down on the feet. The vents actually open up. It's got simulated hydraulics on the arms and the feet. Just, I can gush about this figure. This is my figure of the week. I think one of the things we need to do as collectors sometimes is just go and dust off the classics and remember why we were so excited to pick something up in the first place. And, think about the thrill that it gave us. Sandra is saying, stop making us feel old. I feel old every day now. And I think about this franchise and where it's come. And I wish I could speed up the development of Reactivate. But when we get into our official news, I think Reactivate's coming. The Studio Series Reactivate figures are coming out. They originally came out under the Rise moniker. Now they're actually getting released with Reactivate. I think we're getting closer. And Princeton saying, I got the Studio Series 86 Prime in yesterday. It's a really good figure. That's a mini masterpiece, man. I want to do an extrospective about the decline of generations and where masterpieces come in. If anybody's interested in watching that, let me know. I think that would be an interesting video because sometimes I think had they done this instead of Combiner Wars, I never would have gotten into Masterpiece. So it's an interesting discussion video. Actually, maybe it'll be a better discussion video. Maybe I'll get some people on a panel, been wanting to get my buddy Diesel on. I'm always down to do stuff with Deluxe. So maybe I'll get a panel together. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want to see. If that's something that would interest you, whether it should be an edited video or it should be a live panel. Hey, maybe we'll do both. Maybe I'll do a live panel discussion. I'll take my takeaways and we'll do an edited discussion type video. Let's talk about some TFCon happenings. So TFCon is right around the corner. And, I said I didn't want to do too much sad news and talking about what's going on with Helene and possibly Milton. But, this is still sad. So if you've been watching me here, be it on Zero Hour or Figure Action, one of the things I've been saying is I've been really excited to go to TFCon. Really, really excited. And that's because Peter Cullen was supposed to be there. Then they announced Frank Welker. But it gets sad because we got this post the other day saying that Peter Cullen will not be able to travel to TFCon Baltimore. It reads that Peter Cullen is, it says, unfortunately, Peter Cullen will not be able to travel to TFCon Baltimore. He feels terrible about not being able to see you all next month and hopes to make it up to everyone at a future TFCon. And I really hope that he can. And when I say that, I'm not trying to be cynical. I'm just saying that Peter is up there in age, and I've heard from numerous people that he's got mobility issues. So I'm hoping that this isn't a health reason, and I hope that he's taking the time to stay and be healthy. It says all Peter Cullen related tickets will automatically be refunded today. No actions required. A Frank Welker VIP ticket is now available in our ticketing page for Saturday. That was supposed to be the event where you could get your pictures with Frank and Peter together, if I'm not mistaken. And the Frank Welker Q&A panel is now scheduled at the end of day Saturday. So they say we apologize for the inconvenience. Now, what makes me a little concerned here is this. So Steel City Comic-Con in Pennsylvania was scheduled for December 6th to the 8th. And this was supposed to be his first ever appearance there, and he had to cancel. They're rescheduling him ASAP. I hope that this is just a coincidence. I hope this isn't indicative of health issues. I was talking to my wife before the show. You know, we wanted to see Gilbert Gottfried back in I believe 22. We were supposed to see him in April, and he canceled and moved it to August. And unfortunately, he fell ill and passed. I'm not speculating. I'm just hoping that this is just, maybe he's got stuff going on. Maybe it's a family thing. I just really hope it's not indicative of some health issues, or, you know, him not being able to do cons anymore. Not trying to be selfish on it, but, you know, I've waited my whole life to meet the man, and I really hope that dream not only can happen for me, but for others. I know I'm not alone in wanting to meet him. We do have some new guests announced for TFCon. These are kind of exciting. We got another voice actor, Travis Arts. He was from Cyberverse. We've got Michael Charles Hill, who is a writer in G1. He's going to be there. He's going to be part of the Q&A panel and doing an autograph session. So that's exciting. He wrote The Gambler, Starscream's Brigade, Killing Jar, Ghost in the Machine, which is one of my favorite episodes of G1. The Burden Hardest to Bear, and The Return of Optimus Prime Part 2. So heavy hitter coming. And we also have Casey Collier coming. So, you know, he was artist on All Hail Megatron, as well as a penciler for More Than Meet Robots in the Skies, More Than Meets the Eyes, Optimus Prime Lost Light. And I'm trying to find this one on here. I know that they also had announced, where is it? The gentleman that did the original art for Transformers, for the toy packaging. His name is escaping me right now, but I know he is going to be there. So, you know, guest wise, there are a lot of people. It's not, you know, just for meeting, Peter Cullen. I'm really excited to meet Frank Welker. I'm excited to meet Michael Charles Hill. I'm really excited to meet Doug Parker and Michael Bell. Really also excited to see what exclusives are going to be here. I mean, we're coming up literally this month, you know, is when things are going to be kicking off. I mean, it's November 1st, but I mean, everybody's going to be getting there on Halloween more than likely. And I'm just really curious what sort of convention exclusives are going to have. Typically, we have something from MMC, we have something from Fans Hobby. You know, there's tends to be something from New Age or, you know, Legends class, but I'm wondering if we're going to get maybe an early release of that MMC Drift, the G1 style Drift. I also believe we'll probably get the next piece of Ruination for the reformatted line, since they're doing that Bruticus repaint, and maybe we'll be getting Ram horns. That's my speculation. Maybe that Megatron too, the one that's the heavy remold of the Optus Pexus. And Princeton, yeah, you definitely need to make it out to TFCon. TFCon is a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, it's cool to meet the people that have worked on Transformers. It's cool to meet the people that work in the industry. Typically, you know, companies like smaller companies like Icon Labs and Enewtabie, they have booths set up. I know that there was one of the model kit companies, not YOLO Park, but one of the bigger ones was there. I can't remember who it was, but it's really the social aspects too is awesome too. Getting together with people that you've met and interacted with online, be it on Transformers message boards, Facebook groups, Twitter. It's cool to get people together and just meet people that are really passionate about toys. A lot of the creators getting together. I mean, in the last one in Baltimore, we had a lot of fun doing the one chip challenge with like Patriot Prime, Bert the Stormtrooper. That was so much fun. So I'm looking forward to just really the social element and meeting Frank Welker and just hanging out with people I haven't seen in a long time. So definitely worthwhile to go. Let's get into some Transformers 1 updates, because this is getting a little interesting. And so first off, I'm going to bring up this article from Collider. And Transformers 1 is about to hit $100 million at the box office. Now, it still hasn't opened up in the UK and Europe. I think it actually opens up later this week on the 11th. A good buddy of mine, True Pop Culture 7, he and I did a discussion. He wanted to be able to discuss the movie, and so he had to sail the 7 seas to be able to watch it. But we did a video together talking about it. And no worries, Diana, happy to see you here. Hope all's going well with your friends. Actually was talking about people that I know that have been impacted, as well as some efforts for donating. So again, check the link in the description below if you're interested in helping anybody out. But yeah, so Transformers 1, I love the movie. I don't know if it's going to even break even at the box office. So this movie cost $75 million to make. It's coming up on $100 million, but it's probably in all likelihood going to need to hit $150 million to make its money back. Though merchandise sales might help it, but there hasn't really been, I don't think there's been a big enough merchandise push. I hope that Paramount kind of looks at previous successes like Spider-Verse and Elemental, some of the other animated movies. I believe Migration was one that ended up, finding stride as word of mouth sold the movie. I maybe like to see this one again. I know my buddy Travis, he's got a little one at home, but I think I might say, hey, do you want to go see it? Because I'd love to see it again in the theater. Crazy enough, I mean, movies just haven't been doing too well this year, and funny enough, with everything that's come out, this is still going to be one of the top 25 movies at the box office as far as what it's earned. But will it break even? Time will tell. It's already getting a digital streaming premiere date. Now, it's going to be hitting Amazon, Vudu, and I believe they said Apple. No word on when it's going to hit Paramount Plus. Rise of the Beasts actually hit Paramount Plus pretty quick. But yeah, it's going to be coming out on digital on October 22nd, and it's going to be I believe $24.99. Let's see, did they put that price point? Yeah, so pre-order for $24.99. I'm going to pre-order the physical. Now you can also expect to rent it for $19.99 for a 48-hour period. Oh yeah, so Apple Plus, Vudu, and Prime Video are all going to have it. Yeah, I'm pre-ordering that Steelbook. That's how I'm going to watch it at home. I'm a big physical guy. I've also, funny enough, speaking of the hurricane, I've seen where physical media is now selling out just because people's infrastructure is just, their internet's out. And I've seen pictures from friends where the DVD bins are wiped out at their Walmarts. And yeah, Sandra, I think a lot of people want Travis Knight to come back. And so Travis Knight, he was the guy that directed Bumblebee. And he also directed Kubo and the Two Strings. A lot of those, I think those Studio Leica films he's been involved with. I wanted him to come back to Transformers so bad. I was kind of hoping that Transformers 1 was going to be like that opening sequence, but it's still good. It's its own thing. It does not get as action-packed as that opening sequence. But yeah, I would love so much for Travis Knight to make a return. And again, if you haven't seen the Bumblebee movie, I think that there's only 3 really good Transformers movies and 1 good one, being the really good ones being the 86 movie, which again, I've explained the nostalgia, the memorable moments, the action, the 80s cheese, that's still my top. Then Transformers 1, then the Bumblebee movie. The Bumblebee movie is nothing like the Michael Bay movie. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's got really enjoyable human characters. It's got a good story. The titular character is on screen most of the time. It's a Transformers movie where, odd concept, they actually have Transformers featured predominantly. The villains are cool. Shatter and Dropkick are very imposing. And, it's got a lot of heart and a lot of emotion. It's the one time where I actually like the human characters. So, if you haven't seen it, check it out. And then the one I've grown to kind of appreciate for what it is the 2007 Transformers movies. The rest of the Bay movies, put them in the bin. Not a fan. Not a fan of those. If you like them, cool. I mean, I have a lot of friends that like those movies, but they just not for me. Let's get into our mainline news. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Now, this was put on my radar last week by some of the folks in the audience. I wanted to check back in on it. And that is the Transformers 40th anniversary trading cards. So this Kickstarter has had a ton of success, and it's getting close to its secret stretch goal. So as far as I know, they've unlocked all the stretch goals. We'll scroll down here. Scrolling down. So the first stretch goal was the 2 vintage variant trading cards on clay stock. That was at the 84,000 mark. Now, again, these guys, and this is Dynamite Entertainment running this, they are at $210,564. And that goal was very minuscule. It was a $19,840 goal. They blew past that. I haven't backed this yet, but I'm very, very tempted. It's got time, but I'm tempted. So the second stretch goal was the vintage variants for Starscream and Bumblebee. Then at $198,400, they threw in the vintage Soundwave and Mirage. Now, there's a secret stretch goal at $250,000. They're going to hit that. No idea what it is, but I'm glad to see this finding success. I'm glad to see it finding enthusiasm. I kind of am getting nostalgic for trading cards. I used to be big on them back in the day. I don't know if any of you did, but I had those Fleer X-Men cards. I love those things to death. And the Star Wars cards by Topps too. Those were pretty cool. Getting into some of the that's not what I'm looking for. Getting into some of the more interesting news, and we covered this. This is the Super 7 Optimus Prime. In the VHS style packaging. So this is a Macy's exclusive coming out for the holidays. So, Macy's does that Toys R Us within their stores. So Super 7 is doing a slimmed down version. This looks to be a bit cheaper at $40. And comes in, VHS clamshell packaging. And I am all discombobulated here. Bear with me. They are also doing a Megatron. So let me stop my sharing real quick. So they're doing a Megatron that's also going to be likely a Macy's exclusive. We don't know yet because the Soundwave is an Amazon exclusive. So it's only speculative that they're going to do this for Macy's. Likely going to be $40. And, he comes with even less than Prime. So for $40, you're just getting this packaging and you're getting Megatron and this fusion cannon. No extra hands, no extra weapons. You're not even getting his Energon mace. It seems like less of a deal for me. Like, going back to Prime, you at least get the Ion Blaster, but not getting much more because that fusion cannon is pretty substantial. Still, I think Super 7 needs to get themselves out there a little bit more. When I did my vlog for meeting DWJ, the comic shop I was at had these guys on display, and typically they're in the $50 range. I feel like for what these are and how simplistic they are, they could have given more. But still, I could see these being some impulse buys. And I do think that, in the packaging, they'll make a nice gift. And, as far as one-offs, if you wanted to get that Prime and Megatron, I don't know. I can't really recommend them when the YOLO Park stuff exists. So if you've got a family member or a collector in your life you want to shop for, go with the YOLO Park kits. You can get them on Amazon for the same price. They come with a ton more. They have better articulation. They have stands. I mean, the accessories are there. They have light up eyes. Megatron has a faceplate. Go with the YOLO Park. In fact, I think when we get closer to the holidays, I'm going to do a collector's buying guide. So if you've got collectors in your life, maybe we'll do that, because it'd be a lot of fun. And, I think it would be a lot of fun and informative for anybody looking to know what to get this year. This is interesting. So Hot Wheels, they're doing more with that track fleet line. So there is an Optimus Prime that's out now, and they've also got some standard card back ones, but these are more deluxe vehicles, and they're showing off their Ultra Magnus. I guess that makes sense since they developed the Prime and they look great together. Should probably be about $10 and hitting relatively soon. Made out of die cast. I really like how they've plopped them on to the regular packaging. It's so surreal seeing Prime and Magnus on Hot Wheels. It's something I always wanted when I was a kid. So again, we don't have any date on when that's going to happen, but probably going to be relatively soon. There's my Megatron. Okay, so Hasbro Pulse's YouTube channel did a rundown of what you're going to get as Lab Omega Prime. So this is a sample that they got, and it was hosted by Evan, one of the designers. He's an awesome dude, and he has a lot of passion for this stuff. So the video, here's some screenshots from the video, all on TFW. We'll go here real quick, and let's look at them showing off the video, or showing off the figure. I'm not going to play audio just because I don't want to get flagged. But it says product not final, but this is looking pretty far along. I think it's missing some of the tempo work, but I'm pretty sure that this is a good indicator of pretty close to what it's going to look like. And granted, the light bar is not in there. It's missing the tempo. Yeah, this is a prototype. I'm eating my words now. But still, cool to see a tangible version of this toy. Get to see the transformation process. And also seeing how the chrome looks. They get into, or Evan gets into, combining them up and making a Mega Prime. And because all the chrome's done, you get a good idea of how he's going to look, how he's going to stand. He's looking pretty sturdy. I've got one on the way. I'm excited. It's a gift, so I'm even more excited. And yeah, here he is next to the OG Omega Prime, and you can see Evan there having some trouble standing up. Now that OG Omega Prime, that figure is almost 20 years old itself. So actually, no, it's older than 20 years old. This came out in 2001 in the States, and I think the Ultra Magnus came out in either late 2000 in Japan or early 2001. So yeah, it's an improvement. I still stand by my statement that I made that I don't think that this should have been a HasLab. I think that you have enough people that, RID, the 2000 line was their G1. And I think you have enough people that would be nostalgic for this. I think would have done well on store shelves. I don't really see the need to have made this a HasLab. And there he is next to the standard Siege, or that's the Earthrise and Hound. So he's a big bot. It's going to look great in my DTOF. I'm probably going to put him right under my Star Saber and Death Source display. And I'm hoping that they come out with some more stuff, because I'd love to have a Megatron to go with him. And, I know that they're going to finish out the Carbros. So they've already put out Sideburn. Hopefully they fix some of those tolerances, but neat to see. Neat to see the design team showing this stuff off, because, they've already got everybody's money. Basically anybody that backed it, like you're captive. So they have no incentive to do any of this other than keep you hyped. And let's see, we looked at that already. And lastly, Lastly, we've talked about this here. We get some cleaner shots, but the Rathalos Prime has gone up for pre-order. A lot of domestic retailers have put it up for the same MSRP that he's going for in Japan. He's gone for about $50. This is going to be a pretty subtle air razor. I'm on the fence if I want it or not. I appreciate the retooling, but it's going to be a big and a small robot all at the same time. So just to kind of put it in perspective, if you don't own this mold, here is the mold it's based off. This is an air razor. This is Filch, but it's a big deluxe, but not that big, right? So again, here it is in my hand. That's probably, let's square it up. That's probably about as big as it's going to be. So for $50, you're not getting a lot of figure. The retooling's heavy. Those wings are going to be substantial. It's cool that it comes with a matrix. The weapons are cool. But I wish they had upscaled it to be more like a Voyager leader size using the same tooling and engineering. I'm on the fence about it. I do collect primes. I do like Monster Hunter. I know a lot of Monster Hunter fans that have been hitting me up about it, saying that they're excited for it. So, T-Man coming in saying my cares are low for this one. I mean, well, you've never played Monster Hunter, so maybe that's more a part of it. But the people that are Monster Hunter fanatics, they're excited for this. Rathalos is a cool enemy in the game, and that alt mode is cool. It would be kind of hard to have this amazing alt mode and then keep it like this like, prime that's skipped arm and leg day. So again, I wish they had just reused the engineering and bulked them up. Maybe even just made it an original character too. Again, I like my primes, and they're kind of getting me with, hey, it's an Optimus Prime, but I wish that they'd maybe just made it its own original character. I do like the goggles. It kind of could be, but still cool that they're doing stuff. As far as video game collaborations, I want more video game collaborations. So, and yeah, with it being based off Air Razor, yeah, if it was bigger and more intricate, yeah, and again, they could have done like that third party, well, not third party, but KO route and just upscaled it a bit. KO company seem to have no problem upscaling a mold. You'd think, and I mean, you really would think that Takara Tomy would be all about that in this day and age. Just, hey, we designed it, we engineered it, we're going to make it bigger and better. But no, they're leaving that money on the table. Well, they're not leaving money on the table. They're just taking the path of least resistance. All right, next up, we're going to look at our third-party stuff that we've got this week. First up, this is a figure that my boy Deluxe put on my radar. I didn't know about this, but this is the Cute Toys CT01 Iron Prime. This is actually a Studio Series scaled Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. Now, the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime that came out for Studio Series, it's getting re-released. Don't know when, but they're putting one out that was originally released limited numbers in Target of all places. They didn't know how to fit it in, but they put it in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. But this company's making, like, I would really say this appears to be a mini masterpiece. The articulation on this guy looks insane. He's getting the hero pose effortlessly. Now, he's a little lanky, but I mean, the Studio Series one also had the criticism being a little blocky. But yeah, the paint and the posing on this, the vehicle mode looks really good. Now, it's got a little jank here, but you got to remember how much kibble and jank the official Studio Series one had. Looks like the transformation's probably going to be very complex. I kind of wish that they could have taken these bits here and just had them fold up to cover the back of the truck, kind of like the Studio Series does. But this is all in all, it's looking pretty good. He comes with the axe, the sword, comes with dual blasters for the arms. That's how he looks armed up. Back is very clean. That ab crunch is there. So this is looking pretty cool. So no word on what this is priced at or when they're targeting the release. But it's looking like it's coming along good. And this could be a contender. I wish that they were doing this in masterpiece scale, but that's just me. If they were to upscale this to MP, maybe fill it out a little bit more, maybe give him some, side skirts or something. I think they could make this pretty good. So I'm liking it. And Sandra coming in saying, one question, will the name of the episodes be the new meme lore of the channel? We're going to have 12 episode 1. It's going to be... I think probably what happened is it's a restream issue where it reused. I have to go and check that on my YouTube end. So, if you came in a little bit late, I was having some issues. I moved over to restream when I launched this channel. And it's been a little funky. Been a little funky to say the least. So if it was putting up episode 1, I apologize. I'll fix that on the back. And it looks like on YouTube they did fix it. But Restream, it's got a bit of a learning curve compared to StreamYard. Moving on next, this one came out of nowhere that was to be expected. This is a really cool idea. So Magic Square is getting into MPs. And again, when I was on Deluxe's channel this past week, or actually on Sunday, so just a couple days ago, we talked about this. He's got some concerns that Magic Square is going to move over to MP. I think what Magic Square is doing is very smart. I think what they're doing in terms of upscaling some of the engineering, like, again, look at that Rathalos, Kartomi, you can do this too. But rather than letting KO companies come in and upscale their figures to make their own masterpieces, Magic Square had the foresight to say, hey, let's upscale our Legends figures. Let's make them a little bit more robust. Let's sell them and not break the bank. And again, in this economy with like what Fans Toys wants, it's awesome. So this will probably be my first Legends purchase from Magic Square, and you'll see why. This is their Spock, which is their version of Shockwave. Now, this has already come out before, but what's different about this is they've retooled it, and you'll see in a minute here what the retooling is. So he's designed to fit in their Bruticus's hand. So I'm replacing my Bruticus. And the Zeta one just does not have the aesthetics that I want. Magic Square is coming out and doing a way better job for very little money. And I'm really excited about this. So you get a look. I'm not sure how I feel about the way that hand's going to connect in. It looks like it's just going to like plug in kind of insecure. I don't know. They're not showing off the full tap. Hey, Boss Hog, good to see you, man. But yeah, it's cool that they've redesigned Shockwave to fit appropriately in Bruticus's hand, because I've always wanted, for my MP Bruticus display, I've always wanted to have Shockwave be his second arm. Like, I've always wanted to do that, and none of the Legends options ever looked right. And here, finally, we're getting a good retool for it. So I'm excited about that. Next up, we get a look at X-Transbot's Downshift. So I forget what the official name is for this guy. But he's looking pretty good. So this is actually due out pretty soon. I know Chosen Prime was posting that he's still up for pre-order, and he is it's Yaguchi is the name. I'm sorry, is it Yaguchi? But it's supposed to be the Omnibot Downshift. And I might need to zoom in on this a bit here. So let's fix that. So this comes from X-Transbots officially. This is posted on Weibo or Weibo. And this is looking pretty good. Now, I don't know that I'm going to go... I haven't bought any of the other Omnibots that are out yet. I think they had one out, but this looks pretty good. I feel like the Omnibots are going to be ones that will probably pop up really cheap on TF Source, just like their Junkions did. I've got nothing against X-Transbots, though. I feel like a lot of times they come so close, but they just don't make it. And T asking, can Seed Shockwave fit in a combiner hand? He could, but he's just way too big, believe it or not. So yeah, this guy is looking pretty good. Also liking the new hands that they're using on these guys. They're looking more in keeping with what Takara Tomi's doing. And lastly, This comes from MPM Collector. I'm surprised we're not seeing this sooner, and I know a lot of people don't want this, but Hasbro is not making the twins. Period. So we're never going to get an official MPM. We're probably not going to get these guys in Studio Series. I can't say probably. They may do like an exclusive somewhere because these guys were annoying in the movies. They're a terrible part of the movie, but damn were they memorable. And so we get a look at their skids. I believe he is Dumb, or or was the first one Dumb? But Dumb and Dumber are the set for Skids and Mudflap. And I gotta say, he's looking pretty good. Now, Mudflap was only $50 on TF Safari, so I'm sure he's gonna come in at about the same price. And Skids is looking a lot better. I like the paint apps on him a bit. That day glow green, or it's not really day glow green, it's more of a neon green. Looks really good on him. The face sculpt looks as dumb and as derpy as you'd expect. And it's unique toys. I mean, they're just fun to pose. They're fun to transform. They're made well. And I never thought I'd say that I was looking forward to having Skids and Mudflap on my shelf, but here we are. And this guy should be dropping probably pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits around the end of October, early November. So keep an eye out for that one. So that takes me to the end of the news segments for tonight. Just a reminder, if you missed the beginning of the show, I highlighted a lot going on with what some of my friends are doing to help raise awareness and get goods out there to the victims and those impacted by Hurricane Helene. So if you are interested, check the link in the description below, or links rather. I've linked to Firetox's channel. I've linked to RodimusPrimal's channel, Kato, Enewtabie, as well as the video that Kato's doing. I think that video is going on while I'm streaming, but if you haven't checked that out, go check it out, as well as check out the toy drive that he's bringing awareness to. And with that, as mentioned, I will have a couple videos out. I hope to get my extrospective out on this guy, as well as doing a video where I just go back and rewatch that first video I did all the way back in 2007 with Baby Me. So if there's anything that you want to see me do or discuss, let me know. I'm going to be doing some interviews. I'm trying to get those lined up, and hopefully we'll have a more established upload schedule in the very near future. So, again, if you want me to do anything or have any ideas, put it below in the comments. Also, before we close out, let me know anything you might have picked up that you're enjoying, whether it be an old toy, new toy, whether you found like a thrift find, or you found something. There are new figures dropping. The Transformers 1 Megatron and the Reactivate Bumblebee are both, I've seen them both in stores. The War for Cybertron Ratchet actually dropped. A good buddy of mine, he goes by Vladimir Pocket, Alex. He was actually the first person to find it in the States, and then I went around and found one on my own. So if there's anything that you're hunting for, looking for, or picked up recently, share it in the comment section. I'd love to know. I do check my comments and react to them, and if you have any questions or anything you want me to cover, let me know. Sandra, that's a great idea. Could I kit bash a putt-putt transformer? I absolutely could. And if there was a Studio Series Skids or Mudflap, I could probably make that happen. If there needs to be a good convertible one, because putt-putt's a convertible, but maybe I could cook something up and get that over to Maz. So if you don't know, down in my link tree, I've got a link to Gronking on Dogs, which is the gaming content that I do with some of my friends, Lethal Lightning, Mr. Mazda, the Cream NATO, John Connors, Nasmir, Blabs. We all do a gaming show. I'm on the Sunday shows, and I also edit for them. So we have a running meme where I made Mazda play putt-putt. I made him torture himself. And that's over on the Gronk Squad YouTube channel, where we do Let's Plays. I've got a couple over there as well. So if you're interested in any of the gaming content, check out my link tree and check out Gronk Squad and give us a subscription over there. It's really fun. We do some really funny commentary. and some informative stuff on the main show. I'm trying to get an interview lined up now with a former Bethesda employee that I actually personally knew. So, yeah, good stuff going on. And yeah, thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight and popped over in the live chat. And if you're watching me on the replay, thank you again. Go in that comment section. Let me know what you're looking forward to, anything you've picked up, anything you want to see me do on the channel, or just thoughts about the streaming. Let me know what you think about the OBS setup as well. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks for joining me for 0 Hour. I'll see you next Tuesday, same time, 9 o'clock Eastern, and hopefully I'll have the kinks iron out with Restream and get the show started on time. I don't like acting like Lethal and starting it off late. And yes, I made Mazza play all of the Putt-Putt games that could run on his machine. Putt-Putt's Birthday Surprise was the only one that was too old. But yeah, check me out on Gronk Squad as well. And I will see you next time right here on the Extra Zero channel for 0 Hour. Actually, no, I'll see you sooner because I'll have those extra videos going up this week. And thank you all for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.